Welcome to the final episode of Two Whatever's Way Up. I'm your host, Jesse. And today we have with us from Geeks with Shields, Ulrich. How are you, Ulrich?
Pretty good.
Excellent. And we also have joining us again from our previous Helldivers episode, Josh Meyer. How are you, Josh?
I'm doing great. Glad to be back.
Yeah. This is a good way to end our Two Whatever show. I was talking with Hope about this last night, and I was planning this. I was like, oh my God, this is the last Two Whatevers episode. Oh yeah, how about that? And so every show has had its wrap-up episode. I want to go out on a high note for this one. So we're going to do a final part of our trilogy talking about our addiction of the year, Helldivers 2. We were very angry the last time we talked about this, weren't we, guys?
Yeah.
We were really angry.
Yeah, it's been quite a roller coaster. a lot of ups and downs this year for Helldivers 2.
Yeah.
And it had, a really high and a really low, and I think we're finally coming back.
Yep. Yeah, so I just figured this is a good way to end this show and wrap it all up. Jaguar Sharks is coming to an end pretty soon. Tomorrow, Hope and I are recording the very last episode of ongoing content. The final episode is Split the Difference. How appropriate it ends on my show. But yeah, this is the final Two Whatevers episode, and it's good to have the crew back one more time. So we're going to go through Helldivers 2, our likes, dislikes, how things have changed over the course of this. God, what has it been out for 10 months at this point?
Holy shit, it's been less than a year.
Less than a year, yeah. We're recording this December 28th. It came out in February of 2024. It's, this has been less than a year, and it's been a wild ride. Lots changed. Lots changed. So, the big thing. The Illuminate are finally here. About goddamn time.
Finally.
Holy
it's been teased
shit.
forever.
Oh my God, forever it was teased. Forever. Finally got them. So, best faction to fight?
For now, because it's new and it's different, and I'm not tired of fighting them yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I am. It's almost like honeymoon phase, right? Where it's like, okay, this is new and interesting and very... very cool. It's different from the slaughter of robots and bugs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of neat.
Yeah.
We still are kind of at 3 factions then. What's the next new thing? What are they going to iterate on after this?
There's been rumor of... I remember seeing a leak of files that leaked out, and it said there's apparently a rebel faction. They're trying to integrate the Chaos Divers into the game storyline, and so it's rebel fighters essentially.
That makes me excited to hear about that. I think that could be a very fun, unique twist too if they allow some sort of other players kind of faction.
Mm-hmm. That might be the place you bring in some PvP. I could see that kind of happening. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I am very happy with the Illuminate. And also, we had the big 60-day updates. For the last time we talked about this game was broken and annoying and not fun to play.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, so the big changes. Let's go through them. Ulrich, what's the big change for everything at this point after the 60-day patch? Besides the Illuminate, what's the big change to the game at this point?
Weapons don't suck anymore.
Thank God! Holy shit. They made everything feel like it actually has firepower again.
Yeah, and like there's impetus to try different things and like, oh no, this is fun.
Yeah.
Even if it kind of sucks, it's still fun. Like it doesn't kill as fast, but it's not like I'm throwing pebbles at them.
Unless it's the Constitution rifle, which was the thing that you got for Liberty Day, which is a bullshit weapon.
Yeah.
That was a joke. That was such a joke.
It's a joke weapon. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. You can kill one bug and then you get swarmed. Hope you got a nice backup, dude.
Right.
Jeez. Yeah. But yeah, it's like, man, they really did turn this game around. Like 180 degrees. From the nosedive to the skyrocket, man.
Yeah, they did the thing that they were telling them to do. Stop trying to balance it for a hard experience.
Yeah.
We don't make guns weaker, just put more enemies on the screen. That's what we want. We want the sense of constantly being overwhelmed and, oh shit, I'm about to run out of bullets and there's still 30 guys cresting the ridge. Not, damn it, I'm out of ammo because nothing does enough damage.
I still do have some problems fighting the Illuminate every now and again, unless it's a certain pairing of weapons. Because their armor is a little on the tanky side. I'd say if there's any update, I was like, tone down the armor just a little bit.
Or maybe take the force field down a notch so they're not just absorbing everything.
Yeah. Oh, another thing, the shields on all of the Illuminate dropships, they can't be punctured by laser weapons or anything like that. So if you don't have any kind of like normal shell-based rifle, you can't really punch through their shields very quickly, and it's very annoying.
Interesting.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, oh yeah, the laser weapons don't punch through the ship's shields. They go through the walker shields, not through the ship's shields.
Interesting.
No idea why.
Yeah, so they are making it so that you do have to kind of balance around, or not balance around, but build around ballistics as well as laser type weapons.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That is a very good point. I hadn't really even thought of that. It's not unheard of, but I do like that concept. I like that they added that.
Mm-hmm.
The coolest thing for me from the big update is really, I guess it's a derivative of the weapons feeling chunkier, feeling like they actually do damage now, is the build diversity, where I don't feel locked into bringing the exact same weapons every time if I want to be successful.
Yeah,
I'm
every
able
weapon
to
feels like it
choose
has
something else.
Yeah, every weapon feels like it has value now. Every way in which you play, like, unless you choose some absolute crap loadout, unless you intentionally choose a bad loadout, you're always kind of gonna get something good. You can always kind of work with everything.
Well, you can experiment again.
Yeah,
like I ran the all fire build and like, oh, this actually works and it's really good against bugs.
Yeah. Fire is actually really good against the Illuminates, too. That flamethrower is really good against the Illuminates.
Anything to clear out the vote list. But yeah, no, they did exactly what we wanted. They stopped trying to tweak the weapons and went back to tweaking the enemies.
Yeah.
Well, and to take it one step further with the build diversity is now you have group compositions that you can make where you can be good at taking out certain things or achieving certain whatever results. I'm speaking generically here, but someone can be great at taking out bases, someone can be great at taking out hordes, someone can be really good at single target damage where you just get one big high hit on the big guys, and so you have everybody that can then fit into their different role or fit into their job, and you can sweep through the map, or you can even split up and accomplish whatever you need to in a increasingly diverse way.
Yeah, that's typically how I tend to do it. It's like I've gotten so good at this game that I tend to just kind of split off and do my own thing, because I can just plow through a map if I have a 4-person team. But it's if you separate and go like, oh, this person's gonna go do that research station. This person's gonna go and take out that bug hive or that Illuminate ship set, whatever it is over there. So everyone kind of splits off and does their own thing. I typically pair up with just pretty good groups. And it does feel like you can do it on your own now. Because before they had the update, man, you were totally fucked. You were absolutely fucked if you went off on your own. I guess they were trying to make it harder, but it's like that's not really fun.
They were balancing all the wrong ways.
All the wrong ways they were balancing, but now they've got it right. The other good thing they finally got, vehicles. Thank God we finally have a way to get across the map other than walking. I just wish the thing wasn't made out of paper mache.
Yeah.
God.
I've played another game like that, Earth Defense Force.
Yeah.
Vehicles are really fun in that game. However, they are made entirely of paper.
Yeah.
So they die fast. So I'm really kind of used to the vehicles being a little bit more on the short-lived side.
The best part is when you Indiana Jones one of your passengers in the back of the car you get. They stick their head out the window and you're firing from the machine gun. It's like, I think they hit him.
Yeah.
Oops. Yeah, don't stick your head out the window when there's a guy in the gunner's seat.
Keep all arms and limbs inside the vehicle at all times.
I love the Super Earth defense update. They removed the seatbelts from the cars to make extraction from vehicles faster.
Yeah.
Extraction or ejection?
Ejection, because if you hit a wall hard enough, you'll go right through the windshield. It's pretty
Well,
awesome.
If you hit a speed bump hard enough, away everyone goes. I've seen that happen more than once, which I'm not going to complain. That's part of the fun.
It's still
I
a buggy mess. The vehicles are still not quite.
Yeah, I do not think that the planets and the random gen of the areas that we're fighting in was really made with vehicles in mind. So there's a lot of fixing the terrain to do to be able to get around before that can be, a smoother experience.
Yeah. I think what it is that they needed something for the city maps, because the cities themselves, there's not a lot of landmarks. You can't see into the horizon. So they just said, well, you got to get around the city faster. So screw it. We'll just give them vehicles. You find them on the map and we'll put them into the game later that you can buy them. And driving around the city maps, I think, is overall fine. It's just I wish that the cars that are also on the street didn't flip over on you for no reason.
Yeah.
It is still buggy. You gotta give them some credit. At least they put a bunch of shit into the game. But it does feel like they finally have, forgive the pun, a roadmap now. Like, we have a destination to get to. Like, we've got vehicles in the game. We have city maps now. We have urban environments. We have a balanced weapons set. And we got the Illuminates in here now. It seems like they finally have a goal to head towards.
Progress.
At least.
They're working on the things we want them to. They're not trying to fix it anymore. Like, okay, we fixed it. We've got everyone back. Now we can try and introduce new things and fix things that don't work. Look at you, Space Station. I'm glad they pulled it. Like, okay, let's go back and work on this and make it better.
Yeah, I want to bring that up real quick. If there's one thing I could complain about, the Democracy Space Station, that was like the big driving force for.
I was so excited for that.
Yeah, it was the thing we were all working towards. Like, we need to secure this planet to get these resources, which wasn't even really doing that. You were just like reading text on a screen. So yeah, it was a bit underwhelming. And then we finally got it, and I went on one map where it was doing the orbital strike, and I left before the match ended. Because it's just an orbital barrage. It's like being caught in the middle of a 380 strike. It's just constant bombardment all around you, and there's no way to predict it, no way to know where anything's going to land, and it is nothing but chaos. It is a team killer, the absolute worst team killer.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why they delayed it for as long as they did. It took too damn long to unlock, which is still kind of a problem they run into. The releases are good, but we need to pick up the pace a little bit. And then it really didn't feel well thought out. Like, this isn't what we wanted.
And also, how did you not have it well thought out? You were working on this for what, 3 months?
Yeah,
what were you doing? That was when questions of whether or not they were actually playtesting this stuff came into question.
Yeah.
We were wondering, like, are they testing this stuff before they release it?
There's no way they're not, but I just wonder if they have everybody kind of locked into the mindset of, let's just make sure this is functional, not whether it's makes sense yet.
Yeah. I mean, at least the Eagle Strike was kind of fun. That was kind of cool. Like, constant.
I heard the Eagle Strike was great.
That was great. Although the other one was the planetary blockade. That was basically useless. I think what it was just an excuse to use your samples and your requisition, because at that point there was nothing else to buy. So
we still need uses for our requisition.
Yeah, that was the only thing you used it for. I mean, we've all the stratagems and all the ship modules are out. I mean, I've got everything because I like to have stuff to grind to. It's nice to have that. I've done everything. So I don't jump in as often as I used to. I'd kind of just jump in and out of the game every now and again. It's like, I want to fight some Illuminate today. I want to fight some bugs today. It's like I kind of just hop in and out. I don't really stay consistent as I used to. But it's odd that they spent that much time building something that you'd spend your samples and requisition on just for it to not work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is certainly an odd choice. There was one new stratagem. I guess it came out a couple of months ago. that I've used in between the last time that we talked. What is that called? Because I cannot remember for the life of me. Is it some sort of
Napalm?
new bombardment?
Oh, the orbital napalm strike.
Yes.
Oh, the best thing in the game.
Yeah, best one in the game.
I
Best one.
immediately fell in love with that thing, and I can't.
Oh,
it's
I'm talking
perfect.
about build diversity here, right? And saying how great that is. That's always in my build, so that's how I diversify.
Yeah. The only negative I would say about it is that it doesn't take out bug holes or factories or anything like that.
That is unfortunate, but the fact that I've racked up, easy 120 kills on those things. When I use them, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is great.
Yeah, it feels good to just drop that in the middle of a bug nest, and it's like, oh yeah, fuck you. just do the pose.
Just cleans it out, right? Exactly. but that really is the hearkening to the fact that it is a better game now. It's more fun, and we get to chase that power fantasy, right, where we are absolutely just laying waste to all of these bugs, all of these bots, and now all of these Illuminates. So it's come a long way, and that particular bombardment really excited me. And I was like, okay, I am very happy to continue playing now.
Yeah, it feels fun to just drop drop enough napalm to burn down Southeast Asia. It feels good to do that.
Right, and then be able to brag to my friends, oh, that's 100, that's 80, that's 90, there's 100.
Oh, watching the numbers dial up is just so sweet. Like, yes,
especially when you got a bunch of vote lists coming after you. It's like, oh yeah, that's right, burn you assholes. Speaking of which, how do we feel about the vote lists? Are they an interesting horde to fight?
I think so.
It's more interesting than the bots. The bots I got a little tired of, and the bugs, like,
yeah,
throw out a Gatling turret, it'll take care of it.
Yeah, no, I was amazed that it feels different than just fighting the bugs. And like it works as an actual horde, which is impressive because it feels like it's a wall of flesh moving at you, which is really kind of hard to do game development wise. Like, how do you code that? And it works. They don't get stuck on objects. And like the worst part is, like in true zombie fashion, you blow their legs off, they keep coming at you.
Yeah, they'll crawl after you.
The first time I discovered that was just, oh, fuck off. Come on.
Yeah, I've actually been playing in when I'm not playing Helldivers. I kind of jumped into a game I had never finished, but I still have it. I was playing years ago. I was playing Days Gone, that zombie game, the zombie biker game.
Yeah,
it was. That game was horribly maligned when it came out, and I was like, why? Like, it's not a 10 out of 10. It's like a 7 out of 10. And I was like, I'm having fun with this. So whenever you fight the hordes in that game, they just constantly just keep coming at you like this giant like blob of flesh. It's really, really interesting to play that now because it's like, wow, this is kind of the same thing. It's kind of the same feel. It's like this mass of bodies just pushing its way. They'll push over each other to get to you. It's like a swarm of ants.
So they're taking like the World War Z approach where they're just kind of climbing up each other, trying to clamber to get to you. Okay.
Yeah, it feels like that. Like that's what the vote list kind of feels like. They just climb over each other just to get to you. It's great. It's completely different from the bugs and the bots. The bots are kind of slow by comparison.
Yeah.
Except for the jet brigade. Those guys can go fuck themselves. That was a bit. Why was that a big month-long story? Like, oh, the guys with the jetpacks are everywhere. Oh, good. Walking time bombs. Great. Just what I want to deal with.
Yeah, in the midst of all of the sniper rocket guys. Really, really fun.
Yeah.
I like it as a narrative thing, but no. Give me an actual like new special unit, not just the most annoying unit in the game.
Yeah, I would have taken like a bunch of like Hulks coming at you. I would have taken more of that as opposed to the jetpack guys that kind of just hop around like annoying frogs.
Yeah, and then self-destruct in your face.
Yeah. So, but in terms of the game now, like it feels so satisfying. What's everybody's main weapon that they're using? It's the Illuminate. What's the weapon that's like, I use this primary every time? What's the one you all go to?
A stalwart.
No, I meant primary, not support.
I know, but stalwart's like, I'll bring I have a rotating thing for my primary, but no, the stalwart just comes on every game because
Crank those RPMs.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about you, Josh?
So I really like scout rifles.
Hey, yeah, I like that. Was it the is it the counter sniper? The counter sniper rifle?
Yes. I've always enjoyed playing any kind of a sniper class or even a bow class where you have to really make your shots count. And so that's my favorite approach to it. Other than that, if I'm feeling like I just want to goof off and run around and play the game, I cannot get away from the incendiary shotgun.
Oh, is it the breaker or the
breaker?
Which one?
The breaker.
Oh yeah, the breaker incendiary. Yeah. Even though they did nerf the ammo counts, you can just carry a support pack. I mean, if you're playing in the urban settings, there's ammo everywhere. Everywhere.
I haven't had too much problem with the ammo for the shotgun because they really are littering the maps with additional ammo. And if I'm striking out on my own, I tend to avoid a lot of the bigger encounters.
Yeah.
And I can go replenish no problem. And plus we get to call down ammo every 2 minutes, so I just try to play a little conservative, and I use my sidearm a lot more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think scout rifles and the snipers, those tend to be my favorite. And then I really like to have the recoilless with me. So for my support weapon, I just
recoilless for me too. Recoilless for life. Recoilless for life.
And it used to be the quasar cannon for me, or whatever the big laser cannon was.
Yep.
The recoilless just does it. It gets the job done.
It used to be the spear for me, but the spear, I feel like it just. I can't wait for the wind up takes too long.
Yes, it's got such a long wind up, and I feel like it's just a bit too finicky.
It is, because it has to go up in the air and then it goes forward, as opposed to the recoilless where it's just like one big bullet.
With the spear is it takes forever to lock onto what I want it to.
Yes.
Yeah. Takes too long. Yeah.
Like, I love it. It's great, but I need it to pick that Bile Titan a bit faster because it's coming for me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. For me, it's always the purifier. It's always like the weapon that was dog shit when the game when they fucking came out. The thing that was just terrible. Purifier, they have changed that thing around 180 degrees. Now you can actually fire it like a regular rifle. You charge that thing up, 2 shots with the charge up, takes out an overseer like that.
Nice. I have to give that a
great.
try again.
It just blows away everything. And if you can use it like a pseudo grenade launcher. You fire a shot right in the middle of a horde, it blows away like 5 of the voteless.
Wow, that's helpful.
It's great. I love it.
I've been sitting on it. I need to give it a try again. I think I'm going to try to slot that in and see how I do on my next round.
And it also goes through the walkers, the tripod shields.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's the most fun of the Illuminate is it's like, okay, I get to find my weapon sets all over again. Because when they first dropped, it was like, oh shit, I got to totally rethink how I do this because you don't fight like bugs. You don't fight like bots. So there was a great moment of being caught on the back foot for a bit, which was just insane, and I loved it.
Yeah. Speaking of the tripods, it's nice to see the tripods from Half-Life 2 are finally employed again. Why I want Half-Life 3? I want it. God damn it. We're never getting it.
Nope.
Yeah. But even though they put out that documentary like a month ago about like the history of Half-Life, it's like, just make Half-Life 3. It doesn't have to change the world, dude. Whatever.
So, real quick, just a side note, Valve makes an absolutely enormous amount of profit and revenue, whatever, per year. They have like 400 employees.
I know. It's just Steam. It's just Steam, dude.
It's tiny. And that just blows my mind. They're just, oh my God, they have the money to do this. They could hire more people and just make Half-Life 3, but they're just not doing it because they can just get the laugh at us.
The reasoning was because the reason was because is it Gabe Newell? Is that the guy's name? The guy who created this? He said there's just no idea we could come up with that would match expectation. It's like we have no new ideas. So what? What? Who cares? It's like we cared about the story and the characters. Like we didn't give a shit. Like, okay, we don't have a new gravity gun. Big deal. Like, here's an idea. You got this other game, Portal, right? Cross them over.
Right.
Problem solved. You idiot. Like imagine shooting a portal gun and then using your gravity gun and shooting something through the portal.
Yeah. A lot of different puzzles you could do with that.
Lots of interesting stuff you can do with that. Yeah, it's
Yep.
yeah.
A lot of fun ways
well.
to kill bad guys. I mean, my favorite thing in Half-Life 2 was using the crossbow to pin things to the wall.
There's a streamer I really like named Civi11. He just did a video. His annual Christmas video was about Half-Life 2, and he does a playthrough and then comments on it. And he looks back and he says, "This wasn't as revolutionary as you think it was. Like it was. Yes, it was a great game. Was it as revolutionary as we thought it was? Not really. It's a very good game. It's not as revolutionary as you really believe because it's just the Havoc physics engine. There have been hundreds of games by that point that had that engine, so it wasn't as impressive as you think. Looking back on it, it's not that impressive. What you cared about was the character and the story. Gameplay in that game, Airboat fucking sucked. The car fucking sucked.
Yeah. Yes.
Nova Prospect fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Like half those maps are not good, man.
No.
It's not. Yeah. The first Half-Life, I would argue, is slightly better.
I agree with that. I look back at Half-Life 2 very fondly. But trying to go back and play it right now, I would, I'd say, all right, no, I got other things I got to do.
Yeah, you'd have to suffer through getting through the first chapter of that game where you do absolutely nothing but walk.
Right.
Ugh. Yeah, it's an interactive story. Whatever. Anyways, Helldivers.
Sure.
So I have a little app on my phone. I think I told you about this, Ulrich. It's called Diver Hub. And the thing about Diver Hub is that it's basically real-time updates for everything happening. It's like, I'll show a photo of it right here, right now. It's real-time updates for any planet that is under attack, what the major order is. Oh, I'm getting ads too. Thank you. It is an ad-based app. But yeah, it basically tells you like all the planets. Like, here's the whole map of all the planets that are currently being attacked.
Okay.
Yeah, it gives you real-time updates for everything, including what the major order is. Like news, our current major order: kill the designated Illuminate amounts and the vote list in order to deter their attacks for further scientific study. We have to kill 115 million vote lists. That's been accomplished, and kill 7 million harvesters and defeat Illuminate attacks on 6 planets. There you go. I don't have to sign into the game. I can just be like, okay, that sounds fun to do. Or I can just be like, nah, I don't feel like doing that. That way I don't have to log into the game every day.
I see.
It tells me what's going on, so I don't have to log into the game, see what it is, and then I can just log back out. I can just look at it on my phone. So I just wanted to plug that really quick. Divers Hub. It's a great app. I love it.
Good point. I was wondering what the hell use that was.
You don't have to log into the game. You can just check on your phone.
If I'm at work and I check on the status of everything, like, am I calling people and be like, yo, let's hop in and fix this, blah, blah. Or can I do something from the app? It sounds like no. Can't do anything from the app. But yes, exactly as you say, I can choose.
You can actually do some stuff.
Okay.
You can do some stuff. You can vote on which planet everybody should go to next to attack.
Okay.
So if it's like, if you're under attack from, if it's like you're fighting a battle on multiple fronts, you can choose like, okay, everyone should vote to go to this planet. We have a mission for the bugs. We got to go do that because otherwise they're going to encroach on super.
Gotcha. Okay. That does make it way cooler that you can actually do something from there and have some kind of effect. And
the place I learned about the Illuminate attack, the fucking app. I was at work and I got a notification on my phone that said the Illuminate are attacking. I was like, the fuck? And I'm at work, asshole.
Right? How dare you release that now?
Oh, how dare you? I'm at work, man.
That's great.
Yeah, but it's a great app. I just to plug that real quick, Divers Hub. It's really great.
Hub.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really great. Really, it's free. It does have ads, but you can just skip past those.
Sure.
So let's talk about the war bond stuff. So there was a big kerfuffle recently.
Because it's not Arrowhead if they're not getting yelled at.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
They
there
got to
was
do
a
something
big
wrong,
kerfuffle.
right?
Yeah. Every time you do something wrong, you get. Every time you do something right, you do something wrong.
Yeah.
So they went up with the release of the Illuminates, and they went back down when they released this whole War Bond thing, the Urban Legends War Bond, which was a crossover with Killzone. Which, cool. I wasn't a huge Killzone fan, but cool. And then they put the rest. They put half the War Bond behind a paywall.
Is the War Bond not
Yeah.
already a paywall itself?
You can grind to it. You can grind to it a little bit if you want to. I mean, I had so many super credits saved up because nothing had been released for like 2 months, so I was like, fuck it.
Sure. So as
But
myself,
they
I'm
were
a
making
casual.
you pay. They made you pay for the second half of the War Bond in the
Okay.
paste in the store to purchase the
Yeah.
super credits. You could buy the War Bond, which was half of what it was supposed to be, and the other half was put in the superstore, where you had to have like 600 credits, 700 credits, 300 credits for like the helmet, cape, armor,
Yeah,
whatever it
yeah.
is. Like that's the thing that was the problem. They were blocking it off, and it pissed everybody off,
Yeah.
and rightfully so.
Yeah.
I feel like this was Sony. This couldn't have been.
Oh,
this couldn't
the
have been
fact
Arrowhead.
that
This
it
had to be
was-
Sony.
What was the tie-in for
Killzone.
Killzone? Yeah, no, that smells of Sony involvement. Because I had a lot of people going, "What the fuck is Killzone?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, Killzone 3 came out over a decade ago."
Correct.
Yeah.
Why Killzone? And for such an old game, that was going to be my first question. I haven't
it's cheap.
heard of Killzone for years.
It's cheap. It's cheap. It's cheap.
Well, it's already in-house. Cool, I get it.
Yeah.
But then, okay, cool. First thematic crossover Warbond makes sense. Put it in the Superstore. Okay, that feels like a Sony going, no, don't. Let's double dip on this one. Your guys, you're not bringing in as much profit as you were.
Yeah. Thankfully, though, everybody lashing out, it made everybody realize, oh, yeah, this was a bad idea. And they just gave it to everybody for free.
Yep.
They said, we're sorry.
Oh
It's
my
like-
gosh.
Yeah, they finally relented and they just gave it to everybody for free. It's like, yeah, good decision. Good decision, man. Like, that's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I think we're more than happy of having Warbonds be the crossover stuff. That's cool.
Yeah.
Don't put it in the Superstore because I don't even look in the Superstore. I forget it exists half the time.
I just
if I
check
found
there
a
every
bunch
now
of
and again,
cool
see if there's something
stuff-
I haven't purchased yet.
No, like if there was a bunch of cool stuff in the Superstore and I missed it because I didn't check, I'd be fucking pissed. I'm like, why wasn't this a War Bond? Why?
Well, it was.
why
All of
this-
it was originally in the Urban Legends War Bond, and then they chopped it in half and put half
Yeah.
of it in the Superstore.
which was just dumb.
It's,
I like
it's
the idea
sleazy is
of
what it
that's-
is.
That's where crossover stuff can come from, is in War Bonds. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're always like thirsty for more War Bonds.
Yeah. I mean, I could see like a Starship Troopers War Bond at some points. I could see that coming.
Yeah,
You know,
I would think something
the
that makes
Bug
more
Hunters,
sense.
the Bug Hunter War Bond.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah, at least a game that makes more sense than Killzone.
Yeah, I mean, Killzone. I was like, I played the first one. I was like, okay, it's fine. Like, I wasn't a huge fan. I think I played like half of Killzone 2, and I was just so disinterested that I kind of just turned it off. I never played 3 or what was it, Shadowfall, the spinoff.
Yeah. something.
Yeah.
I tried. I could never get into them.
It was just such a disinteresting universe to me, an uninteresting universe to me. It's like shitty Warhammer 40k. You know, that's what it is. You know,
That's why I tried to like it. And like, okay, it's got Warhammer vibes, but none of Warhammer's charm. Okay. Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I
agree.
did. Yeah. Speaking of which, I did finally finish the campaign for Warhammer 40k. Speaking of being disinterested,
yeah.
man, what a lame ass story.
You mean you didn't like the same story they used in the first game?
Yeah. Oh, you don't like hearing the same note twice? Jesus.
Well, I should like it because it's 40K. I'm like, no, being
No.
good enough is long since past.
Also, I just if there's one thing I can really just absolutely praise about Helldivers right now, I praise a lot of it, but goddamn, the controls feel good. It's just a good feeling game, man. You feel like you're in control the whole time. Like if you fuck up, it's probably your fault. As opposed to in Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, where you feel like you're a chunky sack of meat covered in bricks and you can't move around properly. I'm sorry, man. I could not get used to the control scheme of that game.
My problem more with it is I don't, okay, cool. I'm a big brick. I'm a big brick that still takes way too much damage all the time.
Or even the parry system doesn't make any sense to me.
I hate the parry system. It took, like, okay, I get why this works. If you're one of the people that loves a parry system, I don't. I think a parry system is annoying.
Yeah.
And no.
It thought it was Bloodborne. It's not.
Yeah, I struggled at first with it, but I got the hang of it after a while for parrying. And you really do have to watch your weapons with the block, the balanced, and the parry windows, because it changes how long you have to score a good parry. And you really got to balance getting your health back and dealing out damage, and then kind of getting defensive when you start getting swarmed. And it's definitely tough. It is very, very difficult balance. And some classes are just better at it than others. So I get you. I think I like Space Marine 2 a lot more than you do.
It's also because I'm just not interested in Space Marine 2 or even just like Warhammer 40K. I like the idea of it.
Yeah,
I like the look of it. I like the style of it. It's just that in the future there is only war. That's every sci-fi story.
Yeah.
It's just like I know. I remember I mentioned this to Ulrich. I want to say about a month ago. The way you can tell that something has been 40K-ized in that universe, add a 0 to the end of every number.
Yep.
It's not 400 guys coming at you, it's 4,000 guys coming at you. It's like that's it. It's just if that building is 300 meters tall, no, that cathedral is 3,000 meters tall. That's it.
Yep.
That's pretty much all it is. It's just everything just with an extra 0 added to the end.
And some skulls bolted on.
That's basically it. It's a little. I know that comes from a completely disinterested, outsider perspective. But from me, that's just like, just add a 0 and skulls. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that though. I understand that perspective.
Yeah. So
I'm not going to try and defend it because he's totally right.
No, you're 100% right too, Ulrich. I'm not going to try to defend that because that is entirely true.
I'm totally fucking right.
He's completely
zeros.
right. You just bolt skulls onto it. Do Gothic cathedrals that are way too tall to make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And battleships that are larger than planets. Like, okay, yeah, you got it.
Yep.
Just keep snapping the knobs off and call it a day.
Right.
Once a month, I have a really good comeback, and that was the one. I'm now tapped out for the month.
Yep. Nope, you're done. You got it.
That's it. Warhammer 40K. All you got to do is add a 0 and skulls.
So I'm just now curious then, because they're going to do a 40K war bond.
They have to, right?
I mean,
and the most obvious one is to take the chainsword and put it in Helldivers because they're playing around with melee weapons.
I could see a Gears of War crossover.
Yes.
It's Microsoft though. Are they going to want to work with...
Oh, that's right. Never mind. Scratch that. That.
I think you're right that it would be cool.
There has been talk of remastering the Halo games for the PS5. There has been talk of that recently, which means they'd have access to the Halo franchise, which means a Halo warbond.
That was going to be my next one. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, the Halo franchise at this point is not even on life support. At this point, it's a fucking zombie. It's like it's a dead franchise at this point, dude.
Right.
And you want to talk about burning them out in a goodwill.
Oh man, how do you take a franchise and just piss and shit on it to the point where everybody just wants to walk away from it? Jesus Christ, man.
Look at what they did to my
God
boy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Look what they did to my boy. It's just the worst. Yeah, I used to love Halo a long time ago, and then Halo 4 was just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Had enough.
that was my getting out. Like, oh yeah, no, I don't want to be involved in this at all.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm done. I've had enough. Can't do it anymore.
Let's say that there is a war bond with Halo. What are the iconic weapons that get added? I'm thinking the Needler, right?
No, Needler.
yeah.
The assault rifle as well. The AR-5 assault rifle. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this where they finally give me what I want and I get a tank for Helldivers?
Oh God, please give me a tank. Please, for God's sakes, give me a tank. Give me a tank. I don't care. Give me a tank.
Well,
Fuck the APC. Give me a tank.
Well, even throwing in the Warthog, right? I think that would be cool as hell.
It would be a skin for your APC.
Sure,
Yeah,
I imagine.
Well, I prefer the tank because in Halo, whenever people would get on the tank as like passengers, you just hit it. They just sit on the side.
They just sit on the sides, right? Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're totally safe there.
Yeah, no problem. At least the turret doesn't turn quickly.
That's true. Oh, there's the friendly fire. You have to duck down if you're a passenger. Otherwise, the barrel of the tank knocks you off.
Knocks you off. Oh, that would be great. Little mini game while you're sitting on there riding around.
I mean,
put in a donk sound effect.
The bots have 2 tanks. Why can't we have 1?
Yeah, why do the bots get all this cool shit and we don't? What the fuck, man?
Oh,
I was saying like months ago, why are we not getting the chance to drive those little chicken walkers? Like,
oh yeah. Hi.
I should shoot the pilot and then get access to it for at least like 30 seconds.
Right.
Yeah, give me at least a little something.
That will be fun. You get a whole squad of those guys just running across the battlefield.
That would be really cool.
You can reenact the Battle of Hoth. It's great.
Yeah.
They had something in Halo way back when called Grunt Birthday Party. I guess you had to like collect a bunch of skulls
I
of
remember
certain
that.
skulls.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And anytime you scored a headshot, you got the yay and the burst of confetti.
I remember that.
Yeah.
What if they added stuff like that to Helldivers too? And specifically if they did a crossover with it. If you had like, you score a headshot and that critical hit sound becomes that kind of I mean, I think it's silly enough, right, that it would fit in world.
It would have to be like the opening theme to the Helldivers, the dun 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 dun. Every time.
I want an explosion of fireworks or something too.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? I mean, at this point, it's all nebulous. At this point, we're all kind of like, we don't know what comes next. I mean, we just got the Urban Legend War Bond a couple of weeks ago. I mean, the Illuminates have been out only for a while. They're doing their damage down there.
The rest of them are going to come back. One thing I keep wondering about, like they have said in a couple dev interviews, is they want to do more stuff with fortifications.
Yeah, I would love more defense type missions.
Oh, defense those are the most fun, especially against the Illuminate with how the vote lists work.
I love it when all their ships start coming in and you start blowing their ships away and they start piling up like pancakes.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
There was one
dude.
Mission,
how high can you stack them?
I think we had 4 surface to air missile batteries like on the map.
Oh, nothing's getting in.
Nothing's getting in. We're just watching them just topple down like, haha, fuckers. Go ahead, narc on me. See what happens.
Yeah, another one bites the dust. I think they could expand the defense missions, right, and try to give us a little more control over our tower defense style gameplay, right, where we can throw in some additional walls, maybe create some choke points ourselves, and put up some additional types of defenses. I think that would be fun and engaging game mode that we could make use of to even just to try out new builds and everything too. But just having those hordes of enemies coming at you from 4 different sides, 8 different angles, whatever it is, I think that's a heck of a lot of fun. They did something similar with the Starship Troopers extermination game.
That was like one of the big things was like, oh, you're going to build a base and you're going to defend against. And when it worked, it was really fun.
Yeah.
When it worked,
right. So I guess
even Helldivers had that at the beginning when the game first came out. There was the insecticide towers.
Yeah,
they got that ended.
Right.
That ended pretty quickly. Like they only had it for like not even a month, and it was gone. I keep wondering when they're going to bring back like story-based missions like that again. Like we had the Dark Matter on Meridia, which is now a giant black hole.
Every week or two we had a new big story. I look back. We need that back. We need ongoing events like the Whack-A-Mole with the Illuminate is fun, and I'm enjoying the hell out of that. But I'm also looking at the bots getting dangerously close to Super Earth, and it's like, this is your opportunity for a big narrative community push.
If Fallout 76 can do it, you can too.
Yeah.
Okay, the game that is considered the most broken upon release. If they can do it, you can too. So, story-based mission, just something other than collect the thing and put it in the thing and then leave. You know, just something more than that.
Because that was like the most fun when you played every day because you had to push you wanted to know what the next part of the story was.
Yeah.
You wanted to be there to push. And like part of it was community driven. Like Malevolon Creek was 100% community driven.
Oh yeah, it wasn't a big thing. It was just like the community made that story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we need more opportunities to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well.
And we don't really have that right now, unfortunately, which is the one negative I'd still give, is that they still leave a lot of the story in just text prompts that you see in your mission briefing. It's like, oh, we've captured this planet in favor of the greatness of Super Earth. It's like, what did I do?
Yeah. Do you think they're falling into a problem here with they're really falling away from the show don't tell, right? They're just telling us what the story is.
Yeah.
And they're not really giving us enough of the show.
I think what it is that when the game first came out, they had a giant wealth of stuff stashed up. And then when they just blew their wad, they were like, fuck, now what?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the problem. You know, they didn't have enough of a roadmap.
No, we talked about it before. They got caught up in trying to balance the game.
Yeah.
And then they spent all the time unbalancing it to get back. And now we got Illuminate, we've got vehicles. So I'm hopeful that they can move forward. But one of the simplest, easiest things for them to do is set up a YouTube channel that is nothing but in-universe news.
Yeah.
Use game footage, get real simple, real quick, and just have that as a fun little thing that prompts on like today in Galactic News. Because there were so many YouTube channels that did that when the game first launched, and they all kind of fell away because it just wasn't working. And they grab an intern, set him up with a YouTube thing, real quick, real simple, 5-minute bits.
Yeah. Like for the 2024 Game Awards, Helldivers 2 was nominated for Best Community Support. It lost to Baldur's Gate 3, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Actually talk to your fan base and hear what they have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it did win. It did win at the Game Awards. I want to bring up their awards that they won recently. They won Best Multiplayer Game, and they also won. What was the other thing they won?
Best ongoing game?
Best ongoing game. That's right. And then they also had the
fair.
Joystick Awards, which was about a while ago. They had Best Multiplayer Game, Best Game Trailer, Console Game of the Year, and Critics' Choice Award, which I question that one. I question that one because this game has been up and down for the last 10 months. I don't know if the critics have been all on board with this thing right from minute one all the way to now.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on the snapshot in time of what everybody's feelings were at the moment that they were polled, right? That's going to be what's most important.
Like if you jumped in when the weapons were shit, you were going to hate this game.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you never came back and never gave it another moment's notice or thought, then you hated it and you said never mind. And that would have been right as, all of your friends have been playing it, you've been saving up, you've been thinking about it, you've had it on the back burner, and now you're like, you know what, I'm finally going to do this and see what this hype is. And it was at the trough of experience.
Yeah.
You're just like,
if you jumped in,
no.
Yeah, that was one thing I will say was great, was that when the numbers had been in the tank for the longest time. This got down to like 3,000 players at one point. 3,000. It was rough. And then they fix it. It's up to like 40, 50,000. Okay. We're back to kind of where we were. That's a good number to settle at. And then the Illuminate show up, and holy shit, 200,000 people showed up one day, and it was like, wow.
That's what got me back. I was debating about it on its own. Like, I like this game, but I'm just kind of tired of fighting bots and fighting bugs and nothing really interesting happening.
Surprise!
I saw the announcement, like, oh, okay, I guess we're getting the crew back together because I want to figure out what the Illuminate is. And I'm so excited to see what the rest of the invasion force looks like.
Yeah. Although, by the way, when we were talking about this, when we were talking about the Illuminate on the last episode we did of this, I was just like, hey, what they should just do is just like release the Illuminate one day that no one's going to suspect. And what did they do? That's what they did. It's just like some random ass day.
Yeah.
They just release it. It's like, oh, surprise. There they are.
I was gonna
I
remind you of that.
really-
You totally called it. It's going to be on a random ass day.
Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
thought, oh, Liberty Day is when they're going to attack. I'm like, nope, it's going to be some random ass day. Yep, it was. And I got the notifications on my fucking phone.
Right.
God. But yeah, like when it showed up, like everybody came back and everyone came back and the weapons were good. The feeling was good. The had a vehicle just sitting in there on the map. And the first time I got into that Jeep and I pulled up to my teammates, I was like, get in, assholes. We're going squid hunting. It's like, it was great. And then I promptly crashed it about 10 seconds later because I knew how to drive.
That's not how it goes. Overdone confidence.
Yep.
Immediate crash.
I do hate the shifting of the vehicle in the game. I fucking hate that. I hate it.
Not a fan of that.
It's like, I don't need to play a mini game when I'm trying to drive away from a horde. Like,
Nope.
I don't need to shift. Like, why would I want to go into first gear?
Yep.
Yeah.
Why the hell would I do that?
Yeah.
I just need to go forward, backward, and stop. That's all I
Every
need.
other game understands that an automatic transmission is what gamers want. This isn't Forza.
Yeah, this is not a driving game. It has vehicles in it, but it is not designed around driving like a simulator.
I
No,
want the
it's-
APC now.
I've played Hell Let Loose recently, and in Hell Let Loose, you have to manually shift your tank's gears.
Oh, Christ.
And
Nope.
it is so
Nope.
miserable.
I actually saw that on the PlayStation Store recently, and I was like, oh, this looks kind of fun. And then you just said that. I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Hell
no,
no,
of
Hell
course
Let
you
Loose-
don't.
Hell
have-
no.
You do not have to jump into a tank at all. Believe me, you can
Yeah.
play infantry just fine.
I'm
But
good.
No,
target
Hell Let
acquisition in
Loose
that game
aspires
is
to
tough.
be a simulation in
Ugh.
some ways.
Yeah.
I don't need to feel like I'm in an actual war zone.
Yeah.
I don't
Then
need
you don't
to
want to
feel
play
that.
Hell Let Loose.
I'm good.
Right.
Good.
It's rough. So the fact that our vehicles have that mini game in Helldivers too,
I don't need
it's
it.
not that bad, but yes, it is not necessary. It is.
No,
I
ridiculous.
take that out.
I hope they patch it out. I think the community kind of just said, yeah, this is not fun. Like, patch it out,
Don't
get
make
rid
it
of
harder
it.
than it needs to be.
Yeah, so I think the big push now is the big thing with Meridia. This is probably the big story thing. Is the gloom is still there, but Meridia has been confirmed as not being a black hole, but it's a wormhole.
Ah,
And
Oh,
the big belief is that the Illuminate are going to somehow take over the bugs, and we're going to get, like, you know how we have the vote list, like humans that have been turned into
yeah.
the vote list.
Yep.
They'll probably start doing that with the bugs. They'll start conquering them.
Interesting. So we're gonna have
Interesting.
some hybrids, huh?
Yeah, we have hybrid factions. I mean, there was
we
always
even
that
asked him
talk
for
of
that.
there was always that talk of having various factions on various planets. You know, bugs fighting bots. We never got it. You know, but I think at some point we'll get it. At some point.
Right. So Illuminate controlled bugs and Illuminate controlled bots, possibly in the future, to try to change things up a little bit. Is that what you're envisioning?
Yeah, I could see that happening. Like if they're capable of doing it. I mean, because the bots don't really interact with the bugs at all.
Right.
You know.
Interesting.
Yeah, I
you
could see that
could,
happening.
you could even do bots versus bots at that point in time too, with the Illuminate bots and the normal bots.
There's the way you get multiple factions. You have Illuminate controlled bugs fighting regular bugs while you're in the middle of it.
Right.
There it is.
That would I
That's
think
how
would
you-
work. That's where I was going with it. So it's like, okay, now you can, instead of just pitting the bugs against the bots, maybe that doesn't work out for whatever reason. But yeah, bugs versus bugs then.
It's just a means of keeping the variety up. You know, you got to have something.
Yeah, and I think all of that gives all kinds of different scenarios. It makes the maps less samey because, you know, you're not dropping in and doing the same thing again and again
Yeah.
and again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It
Yeah,
can
that's
definitely
the small
change
thing
things
they
up.
got to keep doing. They got to keep introducing new mission types.
Yeah, that's really the thing that's killing it right now is that as much as I like the Illuminate-based missions, and by the way, I do like the fact they brought back the asymmetrical maps. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful for that. Oh my God, I was getting so tired of being like, just go in a circle, you'll find everything. It's like, now it's like, nope, you have to go to this section of the map, and maybe there's something else out there. Maybe. You know, it feels more like there's a risk versus reward as opposed to in the original version of the game where it's just like, just go in a circle, you'll find everything.
Everything,
Oh,
everything was, all right, guys, we're starting here, we're going clockwise. All right, we're starting here, we're going counterclockwise.
Yeah, you got a little tiresome.
Yeah.
A little tiresome.
Yeah. It hasn't even been a
I'll
year
pick
and it's
one
already
we
tiresome.
came up with.
Yeah.
I'll pitch one we came up with last time we were playing. Like, what if we went into the subterranean missions where you're fighting?
Yeah,
the bugs?
underground missions for the bugs. Like there was that talk of bringing in the Hive Lord because you played the original Helldivers, right, Josh?
Yes.
Weren't there boss fights in that original game?
As far as I recall, absolutely. I mean, there were some big bugs that we had to fight.
At some point, they got to do it, man.
Mission. Like, all right, we're going to introduce certain planets. They're going to introduce the Hive Tyrant, and you're going to be in the tunnels.
Yeah.
And your stratagems are totally different because you're underground.
Yeah. Or I said, when Ulrich and I were playing, I said, remember those drills they had in Gears of War when you went underground?
Yeah.
Yeah. What if like your stratagems were attached to that, and like they were actually just like bombs attached to drills, and you had to find the right place to like stick them into the wall so you could blow up the hive from underground.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So like the only way to extract is just run, just find a hole and get the hell out.
I mean, if we throw back to Earth Defense Force again, I mean it had bug tunnels and going underground all the time too, and even in between the games, you know, it's like, oh, the resurgence of bugs is because they burrowed underground the last time we defeated them, and they hid from us for years in the center of the Earth, and now they're bursting back out again. So
yeah,
you know, you can do a lot. You can do a lot with that itself, with planets that appear to be cleared out, but they actually have burrowed in underground. So then now we have to go down and cut out the rest of them and get rid of that, you know, the tyrant or the, you know, whatever the main hive
Lord
is. Hive Lord. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, doing something like that gives us another mission type. It gives us more variety, and now we have a new environment where we have up, down, left, and right inside these tunnels, where we can have things happening. We can have stuff coming at us from different directions, and not just be like the annoying flying guys.
Yeah.
But really,
you can't get an airstrike.
Right?
Yeah, you can't get an airstrike, but you can get a hell bomb dropped into you through like a drill.
Yeah.
Like something like that.
Yeah.
Change it up.
Yep. But you have to be down there and you have to put down some sort of a locator or something that then allows it to launch to
and
that
then defend the geolocator as the hell bomb comes in.
Yeah.
It would change the gameplay. That's kind of what I want to see him do going forward, is keep changing up the gameplay, keep adding new mission types, keep changing how I play.
Yeah.
Because it's a live service game. You need me to keep coming back. Best way to do that, give me something new to play with.
Right.
Yeah. If you just keep it, if it's the same thing every single time, I'm just gonna walk away.
Right. And then the old stuff that we've done before, been there, done that, we can then cycle back into that again because it's no longer stale, because we have all of these different types of things. So now it's a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. Remember when we were doing the Dark Fluid missions and it was like hell on Earth?
Oh, God.
And it was just like oh my God, those were miserable. It was so nice to just go and just blow up a radar station.
Yeah.
Oh, this feels comfy now.
Dreaming of simpler times.
Oh man, simpler times. Yeah. I'm glad they finally did something with that damn black hole. Thank Christ.
Right.
Yeah. And the last thing on my big wish list is give us missions that allow us to run more than 4 people.
Yeah, they gotta add in at least 2.
Not every
I still
mission,
want that.
but make certain missions like 8 players. And make it just insane, like a big map, lots of enemies, something crazy. But just on the one time I've got like 9 people queued up to play, I'm like, sorry guys, come back later. I don't got room for you right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, having to turn away friends, like we could do like, oh, well, let's try one of the bigger missions that accepts up to 12 people. And we can have some people that are on defense on the north side, some that are defending the west side, and some that are running objectives somewhere else and looking for stuff.
That could be a full assault mission. Like the Illuminate have taken an entire city and it's been blockaded all around and you have to just break into the city. You got 12 Helldivers. Get in there. You can't get in because there's a shield. You got to get in through the shield. Get in there, take out the city.
Destroy a fabricator city for the bots. I don't know. I mean,
they kind of have that with the fortresses on the super Helldive difficulty, but they're not as big as you'd think.
Even some missions that might require some, teamwork and some simultaneous takedowns, or else the thing doesn't work. Like, it's got 2 power generators and there's a backup generator or whatever, and you got to take them both out at the same time or else the shield doesn't go down.
Yeah.
Simple stuff.
Simple little changes will make it just instead of just having it be like, oh, this part of the city's taken, that part of the city's taken. No, just have the whole city be taken. There it is. You just got to just take back the whole city.
Right.
Or, hey, raise the flag in the tallest skyscraper. That's your mission.
Ooh, and boarding actions. We've been talking about that since
ship combat. At some point, it's got to happen, dude.
Maybe not my ship. Let me go assault, like, okay, so Bugs, we have the subterranean mission. Boss, we're doing boarding actions.
You can do that with Illuminates, too.
Yeah, or Illuminate. Similar theory. You're contained. This is a much smaller thing. You've got lots of blind corners around. Really change it up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what the rest of the faction of the Illuminate look like, because there's a bunch of enemy types that did not make it into the final release yet. We're still waiting on, like, the brutes to show up, the big kind of like stomper guys.
Yeah.
We're still waiting on them. So, because all we have is the overseers, the voteless, and the tripods. That's it. That's all we got.
And the narcs.
The what?
The narcs, the little hover drones that.
Oh yeah, I love the narcs.
Yeah.
I was like, "What are you talking about?" Oh, I get it.
I fucking hate them so much.
Oh my fuck god,
attacking motherfuckers.
They're hard to hit too. They keep bouncing around.
They're wily.
God damn. Yeah, but other than that, there's only 4 enemy types for the Illuminate at the moment. So, and one of those types only is just changed slightly because it has a jetpack.
Right.
So there'll be more coming out pretty soon. I mean, everybody's kind of on holiday break right now, so everyone's away from the office. So it's just kind of like being run on its own system. But apparently, they did bring in a new game master to help out Joel. So they have 2 game masters now. They have Joel and they have some other guy. I can't remember his name. But I saw him in an interview. He seems like he's as dedicated to the game as everybody else is. They're working on trying to fix their community support because they need to communicate with the fan base a little better. I will say that's their big Achilles heel. They don't talk to the fans as much as they should, even though it's a live service game. That's kind of your job.
Right.
But I think overall, I mean, the Sony issue aside, which at this point, why is that not fucking fixed yet?
Because Sony.
God damn it.
I guarantee you that's it. It's because Sony will not admit they were wrong.
They think their dick's that big, huh?
They're demonstrably wrong, and they were
That's
proven
basic
wrong.
Bullshit.
Yeah. They lost a fuck ton of money. Like, how do you lose money and call it a win?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer because it's just stupid.
It's aggressively stupid.
Right.
God damn. God, we've lost all of our investors. We're doing real good work here, boys. God damn it. I hope somebody gets fired. Somebody's got to get fired.
It'll be the wrong people. You know that.
It'll be the wrong people, unfortunately. But yeah, the Sony issue aside, the game is genuinely good now.
Yeah.
It's very well done. It feels good. It feels good to play again.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a point where this game was just like miserable to slog through. Miserable.
I stopped playing and I was like, man, it sucks. This game has been so much fun for 6 months and now I'm never going to touch it again because they just keep fucking shooting themselves in the foot. And we did that whole episode. We're like, hey guys, you got one real chance to turn it around. Don't fuck it up.
They didn't fuck it up. They got it right. Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah. It's relief. It's relief that I feel that I can actually go back and enjoy the game again.
Yep.
Yeah, it's nice to jump in. I mean, I don't jump in as often as I used to. When this game came out in February and March, I mean, we were playing this thing incessantly, constantly, like every day. I would sleep over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm like, I'll jump in like every now and again. Like I have everything. I've got all the war bonds. I'm maxed on samples of requisition, so I don't really have anything else to grind to at the moment. So I just kind of just jump in and be like, I'm just gonna blow up some Illuminate ships. I'm gonna take out some bug holes. Like just kind of be like, it's my relaxed game.
Yeah.
Weirdly, the game that puts the most pressure on you is the most relaxing thing.
Right.
Hey, when you're in the groove, just sitting there mulching enemies,
It
just
feels
Yeah,
good.
that's how we
feels good.
unwind. We don't always have to be so stressed when we're playing a game. We can actually sit down, enjoy what we're playing, and unwind a little bit because the world is stressful enough.
Yeah, and if you get on a game with a really good team on Super Helldive, man, it's satisfying. It is so satisfying just to be like every single camp is destroyed, all the secondaries are complete. Man, it feels good.
Extracting
Damn,
the
it feels
full
good.
every damn thing. It's like, look at those numbers. We
so
rich
good.
boys.
we eating good tonight.
That's right.
But yeah, Helldivers 2. It finally feels good. If you are not playing this game yet, now is the time. I think it's very much worth it to jump in at this point. The game feels good. All the weapons are strong. There's a ton of war bonds out. Let's see how many war bonds they've dropped at this point. 1, 2, 3, 9 separate war bonds. All different types of armor sets, all different kinds of weapons, mechs, vehicles. Like it feels good. It just feels good to play finally. You know, they got it right. It's still buggy at times.
Yeah.
I still have some disconnection issues. It happens every now and again. You're going to get that with a live service game. But overall, I mean, for a small team, they pulled it out of the fire. They did it. You know, good for them.
Absolutely. And I'm glad to be able to come back and play.
Yeah. I'm happy to be diving alongside all of you guys every other night. So yeah, Helldivers 2. That is the final update we're going to make. That's our trilogy of episodes revolving around Helldivers 2. And this is the final episode of TWW's Way Up. Last one. So, end of an era.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's sad that we're wrapping up Jaguar Sharks, but, you know, it had to happen at some point.
Yeah, I'd like to say it's a bittersweet moment, but I don't know. I just kind of feel sad, and
yeah,
it's tough.
I mean,
I've very much enjoyed coming onto the show and being able to talk to you guys and chat about all this stuff, and it's a great time. So I appreciate all the immense hard work that you've put into this, and I know it's a lot of work, and I know. You know, I just have to have my ass show up. So I'm doing nothing. So thank you for letting me do that and be able to have fun and do this while you take on all the tough stuff. So really, Jesse, thank you.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. I mean, we don't have the whole crew here. I mean, Hope doesn't play this game. So
Sure.
So she's, tomorrow is the final episode of anything Jaguar Sharks proper related. We're doing the final episode to Split the Difference. It's just gonna be me and Hope. We're talking about Nosferatu. We just saw the new one. I just saw it last night. It's amazing. It's fantastic.
Awesome.
It's got some problems. Yeah, but we're talking about the 3 separate versions of that story, of that film. And Seth isn't here. He doesn't record anymore. His board died.
Oh no.
So, yeah, his board apparently died, so he just can't record anymore. It's like he just has no way of doing it. So it's sad that Pitchmaster General is not here because I know he still plays every now and again. You know, he has positive thoughts about this game as well. And remember when the game was basically nerfed when the Fire War Bond came out, he jumped in for like one match. And he was like, "This sucks."
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I know it sucks. I know it sucks. I
Right.
know we're about to talk about it. Yeah. And it's sad that I've been doing podcasting for going on 5 years now. This is year number 5 for me. I started in middle of 2019 with my ex on another show that no longer exists, and then we jumped over to doing Montrose Media stuff with Film Rescue.
Yeah.
My first episode was an episode of Film Rescue for the 2009 Star Trek film because there was a mix-up of scheduling. It was supposed to be Man of Steel. That became my second episode, and that became one of the highest rated episodes we ever had.
Wow.
Yep.
Crazy.
300% retention on that episode. People going back and listening over
That's
it.
good.
Wow.
Yeah, it was real good.
Real good.
But
Nice.
it was as time went on and as people left the show and as schedules got shifted around. Like, I mean, this year for scheduling for anything Jaguar Sharks related was a miserable nightmare. Like,
Yep.
Split
Yeah.
the Difference technically should have ended at the beginning of December. It's almost New Year's right now because we've had to keep kicking episodes down the road because my schedule and Hope's schedule just don't match up all the time. She works nights. I'm a freelance contractor. Like, they don't always match. And she has
Right.
to watch the movies, which means she has to get home at like 8 o'clock in the morning and watch a movie after working all night.
Yeah. That's
So
tough.
it's yeah. So I mean, after this, Hope was going to step away regardless of whatever happened with Jaguar Sharks because it's just getting too much for her schedule and my schedule. It's getting to the point where it's harder for me to do it. And Seth not recording anymore. It's just me. It's like I can't do it all by myself anymore. It's like that's why I kind of stopped doing the TikTok stuff because it's like I can't just watch movies to do TikToks.
Yeah.
You know. And also now that TikTok is going away.
Yeah, we'll see how long that someone's gonna buy.
We'll
that.
see how that happens. I
Yeah.
have a feeling they're not going to let it go away. I have a feeling
There's going
too
to be
much
something,
money.
some last minute
There's-
switcheroo.
there's too. I do not like Trump at all. I would never vote for him. He said, "Oh, he's going to try to reverse it." It's like, I mean,
Again, there's too much money in it for it to go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna
That's exactly
waiting
right.
for the last minute to get the best deal.
yeah. The reason they wanted it to go away is because there was a lot of pro-Palestine stuff being spread on TikTok.
Oh,
And
it's,
there
it's
was-
even simpler than that. Is Facebook was losing money to TikTok, and
Yeah.
Facebook owns enough senators that they can make a big stink.
Yeah, and there was also
Yeah.
a lot. Also, information gets spread very quickly to inform people about various senators or various politicians that are sketchy, questionable.
Yeah.
It was helping to inform the masses about the election, and they didn't like that.
Yeah, no.
They didn't like that. They really love that First Amendment until it means that it's about criticizing them and kicking them into the dirt. They really love that First Amendment until it's about running them through the mud.
Right.
So yeah. So yeah, it's like it's sad that Jaguar Sharks is coming to an end. It will still continue in a minimal format. I'll be doing like interviews and stuff like that when I get the time. In the Instagram will not be updated anymore. The TikTok, I'm not even gonna. I haven't updated that since August. The only thing that's gonna get updated is the YouTube channel. Is I'm gonna do interviews with like industry people. I just did an interview with writer and journalist Maureen Ryan about her book Burn It Down, about abuse and harassment within the Hollywood system. It was supposed to be an hour long. It turned into 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a long episode. It's on YouTube right now. I also keep the Simplecast as well because I also like to just, in case you want an episode on the go, I keep the Simplecast going. It goes to all the different streaming platforms. And tomorrow, after I finish up Split the Difference, I'll be closing down the Patreon. That'll be gone as well.
Okay.
So, but all of the Patreon exclusive content, like all the extended episodes from everything we've ever done, all the extended episodes, all of the Patreon only content, that is all uploaded to the YouTube channel. It is all available for free. So I just did it mainly as the sake of history and archiving because I didn't want that stuff to go away.
Yeah.
No,
You
I
know.
was listening to those this last week, and it's really fun to get the commentary at the forefront. Like, that's what we're thinking. Funny how that worked out.
Yeah, it's like,
Yep.
we ended on Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's like a movie that wasn't that bad. In retrospect, like, yeah, it's not that bad. It's okay.
It's
not
that
great.
good, but
Right.
It's fine. As it goes, it's fine. So, but yeah, real quick, to wrap it up, what was everybody's favorite episode of anything Jaguar Sharks or Montressor related that you guys were on? What's your favorite episode?
Oh, I'm still really proud of my pitch for Red Dawn. I call that my magnum opus.
Oh yeah, the when MAGA becomes a terrorist organization more so than
And
they already are.
Yeah, and now I look like, holy shit, it's only gotten more like, no, we need this movie.
You
want to make
predicted it.
this movie.
You predicted it.
Yep.
Well,
Fucking
actually,
right.
there is kind of a movie like that. It's on Netflix now called Rebel Ridge.
I keep hearing great things about that.
It's the ultimate fuck pigs movie.
ultimate.
Basically, it's a black guy that's taking bail money to his brother who's in jail, and he's riding on a bicycle, and he gets stopped by cops, and the cops confiscate all the money because they think it's drug money because he's black,
Yeah.
and he basically becomes the Punisher killing cops.
Jesus.
Fuck yes! Oh, it's great. It was Jeremy Saulnier who did Green Room, and Macon Blair was the writer of it. It's so good. It's so good. It's really, really well done. Yeah. High recommendation on Rebel Ridge. Yeah.
Definitely adding that to the list then.
Yeah. What about you, Josh? What was your favorite episode that you were on?
Honestly, the Helldivers trilogy has been a lot of fun to talk about. We had a specifically.
I love the twist of that first episode.
The first episode is exactly what I was going to say. That was my favorite one.
Talk for 10 minutes about Skull and Bones, a game that quickly disappeared.
Right. Yes, and it's still garbage as far as I've heard.
Yep.
And which is just sad, but yeah, I would definitely say that I had the most fun with being able to throw in a twist there and change gears and talk about Helldivers 2 and how much we loved it.
That was so much fun.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah. Me, oh god, personal favorite episode of anything Jaguar Sharks or Montrose Way. I really loved the Terminator Salvation episode. Was a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys listened to that one. It was a long time ago. It's one of my favorite pitches that I've ever done.
That was a long time ago, and I remember listening to that one very vaguely at this point.
That was 2020, I want to say, or late 2019, something like that.
Yeah.
It was way early. Yeah, I was still with my ex at the time, so it was like that's how far away it was from this time frame. Yeah, but it's that was one of my favorite pitches, and it was a lot of fun. I went back and listened to that recently. I was like, oh yeah, this was pretty funny. When we were all in one room recording, God, it was fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun when I was doing the recordings in the same room as everybody else. That was.
It's not the same online. It's not the same.
Yeah, having to be all over the place doing this definitely gives us more opportunity to figure out schedules. It's a little bit easier there, but it is more fun to record all in one studio.
Yeah, the energy is much stronger when you're in one room. Yeah. But yeah, then Seth moved over to the West Coast, and Hope lived down in Florida, and various people ended up leaving the show, and it's like it just got to the point where it just became untenable.
Yeah.
To keep it going.
Yeah, too spread out.
It's too spread out. Schedules are all over the place. Like trying to organize stuff this year was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm also aware of that. We just wrapped 7 years of doing this, and it's like, part of the reason we've been able to do it for that long is it's mainly just me and Axel. Occasionally we get a guest, but with time zones and schedules, it's just everyone thinks podcasting is easy. It's
a lot of work.
It is a fuck ton of work for no return on investment.
Yeah. And that was the other thing. It's like if we were being paid for this, I would keep it going, but I'm technically losing money to do this because I have to pay for the Simplecast, I have to pay for Zencaster, I have to update. I have to take time out of my schedule to edit this stuff. Like, I'm technically losing time and money.
Yeah, and you're doing all the scheduling and behind the scenes work of putting all of this together. I mean, that's definitely worth a lot of time and money. And this being such a labor of love, I've loved being able to help out. I wish I could do more. I don't have the skill set to do the rest.
I mean, it's not as hard as you think. It's just time consuming.
Yeah.
It's really time consuming. Especially when I had to fix the fucking Warcraft episode, Ulrich, you asshole. Your fucking sound on that episode, I hear the goddamn fish tank still in my head. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I love that. I have such fun, unique, stupid ass tech issues. Even I don't understand. For 7 years, you think I've seen everything. And it's like, hey, what if we stole your neighbor's audio from 3 doors down and put it in yours? How? How did you do that?
Why? That's not how this works.
It's not how any of this works.
Right.
Jesus. But yeah, it's sad it's coming to an end, but it's nice that I can finally just put it behind me. I mean, I'm still gonna do podcasting every now and again. I'm supposed to be working with Case Aiken on his show Men of Steel. We're going to talk about a comic book called Class War, which is kind of a Superman adjacent storyline. I'll still be jumping into other people's shows every now and again, and there will be Jaguar Sharks interviews that will continue into next year, but it's only when I get the time and when I can find the right people to talk to.
That's the best way to do it. If that's how you want to do it, that's how you do it.
Yeah, so because it's just me. It's just me at this point. So, it's just something I'm just going to do like, I got a free afternoon. Why not? We have wrapped up Film Rescue. We were supposed to do a trilogy of episodes. We only ended up doing one because the other 2 movies, we were just like, nope, we don't want to do Madam Web or Rebel Moon. We're good.
Oh God, that's right.
Yeah, Madam Web would have been a 9-hour episode because we're just like, yeah, everything's wrong, and Rebel Moon is like, who cares?
Right.
Like, who gives a shit?
Nobody does. Nobody cares.
It ended up on Variety's top 10 of worst of the year. So, like, what's the point?
Well, you got to know. I play with that idea. I'm like, okay, how would I fix Rebel Moon without watching it? My first thought was, I got to write a whole story just to justify the bullshit. I don't want to.
Yeah, exactly. That it's too much
Mhm.
work for nothing, for no return.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason Film Rescue had to come to an end. You know, we ended with Tenet. It was a good episode, 90-minute episode, in, out, done. Nice way to just wrap it up. Split the difference. We're finishing that up tomorrow. This is the final two whatevers episode, and Game Rescue. Me and Jeremy, we finished that a couple months back. We did Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII, and I think that's everything.
Yeah.
So it's sad it's ending, but it had to go at some point. So it's sad to walk away, but all good things, they come to an end. So
Well, sir,
I wish
been a pleasure.
I wish that Seth and Hope were here. I wish, because like it you know what, I was thinking about this today. I was like, you know what Jaguar Shark's Montressor is at this point? It's like, I don't mean this in a derogatory way. I mean this in like just a kind-hearted way. It's kind of like being part of a really great TV show that's gone on too many seasons too long, and all the original cast is gone. It's like ER after the 7th season. It's like, who are these fucking people?
Right.
It's like, it's like Clooney's not there. Like, where is everybody?
Right.
It's like, that's what this feels like at this point. Like, all the old cast is gone.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm the only one left. And it's like, it just doesn't feel worth it to keep going. Like ER, end at a certain point. You don't have to keep going. You can stop. You don't have to keep going.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking Community. I'm like, wait, does that make Seth Donald Glover?
So
he's not even
Seth
here
has been
for the
kidnapped by
finale.
pirates out in the ocean with LeVar Burton. Great.
I
That's
mean,
where
that
he's been this whole time.
He left one day, said he'd come back, never did, because he was kidnapped by pirates.
He's just like, I'm done with this shit. I don't want to do it anymore. Superman Returns wasn't that bad, dude. God. But yeah, like, the Seth isn't here, Devin isn't here, all the other people, they're not here. It's like, it just feels pointless to keep going. It's time to end it. So, well, I think that's enough before we all start crying. So It's nice that we've been here doing this. Never say never on returning, but at the moment, it seems like it's a unlikely possibility.
Hey, you can always start another podcast.
I'll just rebrand it. It's like money laundering. Just rebrand the company. It's fine. That way they can just avoid tax fraud.
Right. Oh God.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the last two whatever's way up. Talking about Helldivers 2. That's the ending of our Helldivers trilogy. Go play this game. It's really good. It's really fun. We're me, Ulrich, and Josh. We're jumping in every now and again. We're fighting the good fight.
We wouldn't steer you wrong.
Well,
okay, maybe we would. Just for fun.
Yeah, I was about to say, clarify that. We don't steer you wrong when we're not too intoxicated. I've only had the one beer tonight because it's a celebratory beer as opposed to the last time where it was I'm angry and need to drink beer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the end of Two Whatever's Way Up. We have one more show to wrap up tomorrow, and then that'll be the end. So, thank you, good night, and good luck.